they keep me going in eternity. I'm waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms. I walked by the place where you lived before. I saw a couple kissing by the door. It took my breath away. The void you left is more than I can bear. I'm waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms. I see your face on strangers in every crowd. It takes so much not to shout your name out loud. I'll always be here for you, like the shore is always waiting for the sea. I'm waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms. Waiting for you, waiting here for you, aching for your loving arms.
Three takeaways if you do today's practice. Number one, you will feel more able to move, and that alone is mighty good. You will have greater confidence in your balance. That's number two, and oh my gosh, that feels good. And you're gonna feel more balance, more joy in your heart and in your head. You'll just feel better. Give it a try. What have you got to lose? I'm Jan, this is 316 Yoga. This is yoga from home. This is where you do it your way. It's just like a class because it's start to finish. We don't have any cuts. It's live. We're real here in Florida. So here we are. 1 hour long is the practice. If you can only stick around for 10 minutes, that's fine too. But do what's right for your body, as the bottom of the screen says. Don't hurt. If something hurts, back out of it. It just isn't meant for you. It's no big deal. Let it go. It's just yoga. Every day our practices are different, so find what works for you. Show up, and if you stay in child's pose on your mat, I'll show you that one in a little bit. If you stay in child's pose on your mat the whole time, that's awesome. Whatever works and feels good for you. Biggest thing, ease off the pressure. Don't hurt yourself. Do what you can and have fun. Grab some props. They help. A couple yoga blocks. It's nice to have a towel and an eye shade for final Shavasana. And today, a strap. If you don't have any of those, don't sweat it. If you don't have a strap, think innovatively. Grab a dog leash or grab a belt to your robe. That's it. All right, so let's lock in a stress number. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you? Don't overthink it. Come on up to a standing position. All right, so here we go. Let's go. We're gonna move kind of quickly today. This is our Monday practice. We're gonna have some fun. All right, so you got your stress number locked in, whatever it is, remember it. Let's come into a confident stance here. So put your hands on your hips. Whew. Hands on your hips, wiggle your shoulders, feet a little wider than hip width distance, and stand. Take a deep breath in through your nose. And a big sign, audible. Hear it, listen to it. An audible breath out your mouth. Let it go. Let it go. Let the stress go. So send your elbows back. Send your shoulders down. And make your chest lift up high. Take a deep breath in. And a sighing breath out. Let's come on up to our toes and down onto your heels. In this confidence stance, we are finding our foundation. Here's a word. The word of the day today is failure. 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 It means that you're trying. Failure. There we go. It means that you're trying. When you fail, you get out of your comfort zone. You're forging new ways, new paths. You're breaking through barriers. So I hope you fail today over and over again. And I mean that in a good way. You get it. All right, so come on up high onto your toes, on the balls of your feet, down on your heels, and let your toes come up. Rock back and forth. Make your foundation strong. Maybe a little bit of a challenge. Maybe press on up to the balls of your feet and hold it here for a little bit. How long can you stay? How long do you want to stay? Maybe a chair nearby is a great prop for you as well. Hold on here, chest is lifted, stay strong. And back down to your heels and rock a little bit more. All right, there you go. You've awakened your feet. Maybe move your hips a little bit from side to side. Even feel the side, the pinky edge side of your foot in the ground. Plant your feet solidly. Lift your arms high up to the sky. You know this one. It's extended mountain pose. Bring the legs in a little bit to be comfortable and feel solid. Lift through the fingers. Take a deep breath in. And a shoulder softening sigh out. Interlace your fingers, send your palms up to the sky, and gently sway from side to side. Lateral flexion of your spine, allowing you to open up here through the rib cage. Breathe. Do what feels good. Take it as far as feels good. Maybe a bend in your elbows feels good today. And let's come out of this palm tree. Come back to standing at the midline. Let your hands float down. Press them into your low back like they're going into pockets of jeans. Send your gaze up toward the sky. Maybe you go right overhead. Maybe you look up nice and high, or maybe not so high. That's okay. Maybe you're holding onto a chair or the wall. It's all good. Little back bend. Now a forward fold. As you exhale the air out of your lungs, fold forward. Fold forward. Think of folding your body in half like a paper clip. Send your gaze to your knees or up towards your belly button. A little bend in your knees feels good. Breathe in. Breathe out. Decompress your low back. Sweep your arms up. Extended mountain again, lengthen up, it's always good. Maybe pop up onto the balls of your feet and rock a little bit more because you got it going on. Let's do some arm circles. Tee out your arms and start to draw circles to the sides of the room. Little bend in your knees might feel good. And maybe you even get the movement going bigger in the arms, taking it up into the shoulders and bending the knees even more. Maybe when the hands come down, the knees bend. Maybe when the arms come up, you straighten up. Take it to what feels good. Other direction with the arm circles. Maybe sit your hips back a little more. Maybe take that bend a little deeper. First one's always the hardest, but then it feels better. Get those joints moving. All right, shoulders are moving, knees are moving. You want that for your mobility and flexibility. All right, come on up to standing. Let your arms wiggle your shoulders a little bit. It's only yoga, no big deal. You just do what feels right for you. Let your arms hang down by your sides. Big coat swing. Twist from side to side. Breathe, sigh it out. Twist. Let your arms be heavy and floppy. Twist and look over your shoulder. Maybe twist a little bit more. Okay, here's a challenge, because remember, you want to fail, right? You want to fail. So maybe close your eyes. Try that. If it doesn't feel good and you feel like you're going to lose your balance, open your eyes, but just give something new a try. Push your limits. All right, let's finish up. Nice controlled twist there. Ragdoll pose. Feet about hip width distance apart, hands to opposite elbow creases. Lengthen up through your spine just because it feels so good. Fold forward. Fold forward. Feet about hip width distance apart. That's 2 fist widths. A little bend in your knees feels really good. Gaze back toward your knees or up toward your belly button. Crown of the head toward the earth. Little bend in the knees. if you like, and then start to sway one elbow toward one knee, then the other elbow toward the other knee. Let this feel good. Take a moment. Feel what you feel here in your low back. Big breath in. Big breath out. Let it go. This is your ragdoll pose. Do it throughout your day after you sit for so long, because I know you sit for a long time. We're all guilty of it. Stand up. Do your ragdoll pose, even if it's just 30 seconds. Your low back will thank you. All right, let's finish. Come back to the midline of your body. Release your fingertips down toward the ground, and let's come down to your mat. All right, so that's your warm-up. Just take a second here. How do you feel? How do you feel? Are you feeling a lot better? I think you probably are. Put a smile on your face. That helps too. All right, child's pose. You can use a block or no block at all, or take a block or two up to the top of the mat. Knees can be together, big toes touching, hips back to the heels. Head can come down to the block. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. There's a classic child's pose. Shoulders away from your ears as your fingertips reach farther toward the bottom of your mat. Breathe. Options. Knees can spread wide. Big toes are still touching. Hips back to your heels. Arms reach long to the top of your mat, or put your hands up on top of your blocks. Oh my goodness, talk about getting back into the shoulders. But you don't have to do it. If you don't like it, if it's not speaking to you today, don't do it. Do what feels good. That's all that matters. Take a deep breath in. A big sighing breath out, and as you do that, think of your tailbone going more to the back of the room. Feels really good. When you're ready, close your lips and breathe in and out of your nose if that suits you. That's the most important thing. As you breathe in and breathe out, expand through the backs of your lungs. Feel your shoulders reaching to the sides of the mat. Lips are closed. You're focusing inward on your breath. Biggest thing, let the outside world go. Just enjoy this time on your mat, letting your body move, finding new flexibility, new mobility, and just peace inside your head. Take a deep breath in, and a deep breath out. Let's take our elbows down to the mat. And if you have your arms in a classic child's pose, bring your arms up toward the top of the mat, elbows down to the mat. Bring your palms together to touch. Hands are in prayer. Bring your hands behind your skull. Elbows are pressed into the mat. You feel this stretch, at least I do, up the triceps and into the armpits. Breathe in. Breathe out. You got it. This is your child's pose. Your spine is elongating. Your knees, your ankles are getting a nice bit of movement here. If anything hurts, remember, come out of it, back out of it. Don't take it so deeply, and don't take it so seriously. You can stay here in child's pose longer if this is speaking to you today. I'm going to come out of the child's pose the way I came in. I'm going to bring my hands down to the mat. I'm going to lift my chest on up, and I'm going to come into a toes pose and ankle pose. All right, back to that foundation again. All right, how do you feel? Just move a little bit. Feeling better? Yes, you are. All right, I'm going to tuck my toes towards my shins. You can use your 2 blocks here if you like. If you don't have blocks, no big deal. Blocks can be by your sides to facilitate getting into your ankle pose. But you're going to sit your heels back onto your, or sit your bottom back onto your hips. Hi, Liz. Oh my gosh, it's good to see you. Lori, how are you? Diane, Tyrone, Marietta, Kelly, Rena, Tim, Steve, Connell. I'm glad you guys are here. All right, so you're sitting in your toes pose, right? So feel the stretch in the bottom of your feet. Not the most comfortable pose ever, right? But as long as it doesn't hurt, stick with it. Remember, you are only as strong as your weakest link, and you don't want your foundation to be your weak link because you don't want to fall, you don't want to trip. It leads to too many problems. All right, so you're stretching your feet, you're strengthening them here. Let's take it to your ankle pose. Now you can use the blocks to bring the ground up to you, flip the tops of your feet onto your mat, and sit back on the tops of your feet. You can press into the blocks. If you don't have the blocks, no big deal. Press your hands into the ground and balance on the tops of your feet, or don't use your hands at all. There's a little challenge. And what's going to happen? You're going to fall out? You lose your balance? Get back in. You're challenging yourself and you're discovering new thresholds. Maybe hands to prayer center and you close your eyes. Breathe in, breathe out. You got it. And then let's come out of this, come back to a toes pose. Come back to a toes pose here. Now let's do something with our arms a little differently. All right, so you're in your toes pose, seated on your heels. Arms come forward, palms face up. Take one hand and bend the forefingers of the other hand all the way back towards your elbow. Nice big stretch in the forearm here. Then bend the thumb back. Oh, that's a challenge. Then bend one finger at a time, starting with the pinky, work your way up, 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 all the way, making it to the thumb, one finger at a time. All right, other hand, bring both palms up. Bend all four fingers back, back, back. Bend the thumb, back, back, back. Now go each individual finger, pinky, ring, tall man, pointer finger, and your thumb. Let's come out of this, come into your ankle pose. You kind of forget you're in toes pose when you're doing something else, right? Maybe. All right, lean back onto the tops of your feet. However you wish to be is just great. Hold your ankle pose here. Maybe take it a little farther. Maybe you want to bring your hands down to take it farther, but just let that ankle stretch feel awesome. All right, let's come out of this. Come back to your toes pose. Back to your toes pose. Take your arms forward. Interlace your fingers like you did for palm tree. Turn your hands so one hand is on top, and then draw figure eights, little infinity signs, by moving your wrists this way and that way. Breathe. I need to sigh it out a couple times here. And then I'm going to come back to my Ujjayi Pranayama breath. Then let's go, ankle pose. Come on into it any way you want. How do you like it? The blocks are great, because I always like to think of them as bringing the ground up to me. That's kind of my starting point. I always think, okay, the blocks are going to bring the ground up to make a pose more accessible. All right, you're leaning into your ankles. One more toes pose. All right, let's go back to it. Come on into tucking the toes towards your shins. This time, tee out your arms, give yourself a big hug. One arm crosses over the other. Fingers try to reach towards your spine. Nice tight squeeze. Your shoulders are up near your ears, and then release the shoulders away from the ears and shoulders to the side of the room. Squeeze. Let's come out of this. Open up the arms. Take the hug on the other side. Opposite arm on top. Nice tight squeeze. Release the shoulders. Expand through the shoulders. Open up your arms. Let's come into an ankle pose. Tops of the feet on the mat. Come on back to your ankles. Oh my goodness. Breathe. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Let's come out of this pose. Come into a neutral tabletop. Neutral tabletop. Shoulders over wrists. Knees under hips. Lift your feet up. Squeeze and scrunch your toes. Circle the ankles every which way. I know it sounds crazy. Here's how I describe this. I feel like I have more space between my ankles after doing toes pose, ankle pose. Tap the tops of your feet out on your mat. Just observe what you feel, right? That's what it's all about, how it feels in your body. All right, feet come down. Let's do cat-cow. For your cat-cow pose, tuck your chin to your chest, tuck your tailbone under, arch your back up to the sky. Inhale, cow, tailbone and crown of the head lift to the sky. So let's do it again. As you exhale, you're drawing your belly button towards your spine, your chin tucks, your tailbone tucks, your back is arched. Inhale, cow, tailbone, crown of the head lift. So move your spine. You're curving your spine to the shape of a letter C, then the backward letter C. Keep up your cat-cow. Marry the breath to the pose. Finish up neutral tabletop, or maybe you're taking a few more, totally fine. We're going to do a cat pose with an extended tail. Send the right leg long, plant the ball of the foot on the mat, press into the foot. Feel like you're in a runner's lunge. Feel the strength of that entire back leg. Lift the right leg, cross it over the midline of the body as you squeeze high in the upper inner thighs. Plant the ball of the right foot down on the left side of the body. Look over your left shoulder back to your ankle, your knee, your bottom, big stretch. Sweep that extended leg around as long as you can. Maybe plant it at about hip height on the other side of your body and lift your arm up to the sky and twist and look up to the sky. Plant the hand, bring the right knee back to meet the left. Left sides turn. Extend the left leg, press the ball of the foot into the mat. You're pressing hard into both hands, pressing hard into the ball of the foot. Let it feel good. Cross the midline of the body with that extended left leg. Push into the earth. Look over your right shoulder, to your right knee or to your bottom. Sweep that extended left leg around high as you want to take it. Maybe take it to about hip height. Plant the foot on the mat. Lift the arm up to the sky and look up to the sky. Twist. Look up. Maybe look a little higher. Use your eyes. Look up there. And then plant the left hand and right hand on the mat. Left knee next to right knee. Let's do a bird dog pose. This is a big balancing pose. Extend your right leg long and lift it off the ground. Draw your toes towards your shin. Press into the mat and hold it here. You feel compression of your low back. You feel strengthening here. Push into your hands, and then if you like, lift your left hand. Reach the left hand forward like a bird dog. Maybe your leg lifts a little higher as you reach and stretch. Stretch your fingers, spread them wide, thumb up to the sky. You're gazing down to your right finger because your neck is nice and long. Draw your elbow to your knee underneath your navel, and then stretch. Elbow to knee if you want, and then stretch. Just find length here in your spine. It's an awesome pose. Left hand down. Right knee down, other side. Left leg lifts, knee to hip height. Left leg extends long. Left toes drawn toward the shin. So think about what's going on in your ankles here. The right one is in a plantar flexion. The left one is in a dorsiflexion. So just the opposite. So they're both getting some good things going on here. Perhaps the right arm lifts and reaches as you lengthen through your spine. Stretch, reach, push the earth away with not only your left hand, but the top of your right foot too. Stretch, reach, lengthen. Perhaps touch your elbow to your knee. Reach and tuck. Reach and tuck. I think that'll finish us out on that side. Bring your hand down, bring your knee down. All right, that's your bird dog pose. Let's do a plank. We do planks just about every practice. We hold them for 1 minute. We set a timer. If that doesn't work for you, if you don't want to do a minute, don't do it. Do your plank any way you want. You know you have a minute here to do it. Or take less time if you want. If you're new to planking, plain and simple, come down to your back. Press your blocks up to the sky and imagine that you're in a plank. It'd be like thinking that the ceiling is the ground. Push. You got it. You can do that. Another variation is from that neutral tabletop, spread your knees a little bit, adjust them. Everybody's height is different. Everybody's hips are different. Adjust them. Walk your hands a little more forward so you're in like a modified tabletop. Hinge the weight forward, pressing into your hands, having more weight into your arms, and feel that. If it doesn't feel good for your wrists, fold your mat over once or twice. Or ball your hands into fists. That helps too. Or, there's always ors. Drop down to your forearms, elbow underneath your shoulder. Adjust your legs, send them a little bit longer. You can take a forearm plank. You could take a forearm plank where you tuck your toes towards your shins and lift out of the low body. Press into your forearm plank. You can take a classic high plank, which is your arms nice and straight. Again, adjust your hands how you like. Legs can go long. Push into the earth, keep your body nice and flat like a plank, like a board, and hold here, shoulders over wrists, legs long. I'm gonna take yet a different variation of plank today. You got a minute explaining it, right? Okay, I'm gonna take a reverse plank. You decide how you wanna take it. Maybe you sit on your bottom, bring your hands back, shoulders over your elbows and wrists. Legs can be long, and you pop on up here. So let's do whatever variation you like. I'm gonna pop on up. Dwayne, how about a timer, please? There we go. All right, so hold here. Keep your core strong. Gaze up toward the sky. Arms are good and strong. Timer is counting down. You can count down with watching the timer or not count down at all. Just let it go. Hold on. So we're about 15 seconds in. Hold it here. Look up to the sky. Alignment is important. Arms nice and straight. Elbows under shoulders. Wrists under elbows if your arms are in a straightened variation. All right, halfway there, breathe. Look up to the sky. Stay long, stay strong. You got it. Push those blocks away if you're on your back. You got it. Take breaks if you need to. If you're in a high plank, you can always send your hips high for a downward facing dog. Here we go, 10. Let's go, 10 seconds. You can do anything for 10 seconds. Hold on, stay strong, you got it. Don't give up, don't quit. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're done. Come on out of it. All right, how did you do? You did great. Tell yourself that. No matter what, it's not a failure. You try, that's a success. All right, you're on your bottom, that's where we need to be. Maybe grab a drink of water. All right, I'm gonna lean on back a little bit. I'm gonna bring my hands to prayer center. I'm gonna lengthen up through my spine, and then I'm gonna recline. Take it slowly. We talk about this a lot. Take it slowly because you are in control. Don't just let gravity happen, although it'll do its own thing and its own time in so many ways. But just try to be in control here. Your core is strong, lower down, nice and slowly as best you can. Come all the way down. Once you're all the way down, bend your knees. Soles of the feet touch. Knees open wide. Supta Baddha Konasana sit-ups. Elbows bend. They're wide to the sides of your room. Your fingers are lightly to your temples. When you're ready, as you exhale, lift your chin up to the sky. And as you inhale, come on down. Exhale up, inhale down. Little teeny lifts and little teeny lowers. Lift, lower. Now, don't look down towards your belly button. Don't put that twist in your neck. Keep your gaze up toward the sky. Keep your elbows and knees open wide. Lift and lower. You got it. And then let's finish. Come on down. Shoulders are down. Bicycle time. Lots of ways to take it. Maybe you bring the soles of your feet onto your mat and you decide to do a little twist. You bring your fingers lightly back to your temples. Exhale on up and take a little twist. Left elbow twists towards the right knee, then the other side. Maybe that's what you choose to do today. Perhaps you bring the shoulders down, lift your legs up, knees over hips, shins parallel to the earth, and you ride a recumbent bike. Just ride a bicycle here, sending one leg long, then the other bending. You can have your fingers back at your temples and stay right here. You can lift your shoulders up and bring it all, combine it all together. Opposite elbow toward opposite knee as you ride your bike here. Maybe you straighten your legs and you scissor kick them. You take what feels good. It's all good. It all works together for that which is good. Let's finish. Stick pose. Legs go long, arms high overhead. Palms touch. Reach, stretch. Point your toes. Reach your fingers. Stick pose. All right, your toes. Give them a wiggle. Your ankles. Give them a shake. Give them a turn, give them a twist in both directions. Arms float down by your sides. Let's do boat. Perhaps you press on up to your forearms. And remember the elbows under the shoulders bit? All right, hands down onto your mat. Maybe lift your legs up and hold them a few inches above the ground. Hold it, maybe draw the knees in and send them long together. Lower the feet, kiss the ground with your heels and lift them up again. Draw the knees in, send the knees out, kiss the ground with your heels, lift again. So you can do this little different variation of boat if you like, bending the knees, sending them out, lowering them down, or press on up to straightened arms and hold your legs long, or hands behind your calves. Not your calves, your, what are these things called? Your thighs, your hamstrings, lift. Chest is lifted, back is straight, legs can be straight or a little bend, it's up to you. Maybe release your hands and hold. Maybe lift your hands, a little or a lot, whatever. Bring your legs down, come on down. How did you do in that boat variation? I'm gonna take a drink and then we're gonna go into a lunge. How are you doing? I hope you're doing it your way. And I hope you failed a couple of times and you've gotten back in to just trying something different. All right, let's go at it again. Let's turn around and grab your 2 blocks. Let's come into a lunge, and we're gonna combine a couple things here. So let's come to standing on your knees, all right? Bring your right foot forward, your right knee over ankle. There's that alignment thing again. Blocks by your sides. Send your left leg good and long. Send the leg long and straight with the top of the left foot on the mat. Huge stretch here in your left hip flexor. I hope it feels good. As long as it doesn't hurt, stick with it. If it doesn't feel quite right, maybe keep your hands down on your blocks or adjust your leg a little bit. You just don't want to feel pain. All right, so from this lunge, let's lift our arms, if you'd like, to the sky. You could always keep your hands on your blocks. Don't sweat it. Arms lift to the sky. Baby back bend. Hands to prayer center. Now here's a little difference. Keep your palms together and act maybe like you're chopping wood to the left side of your body. Bring it here. Press into your thigh with your right shoulder, and then come back to the midline. Inhale, lengthen. Same thing, palms together, elbows straighten. Take it to the opposite side. So you're pressing the outside of your left forearm to the outside of your right thigh. Hold it here. Now open it up. Open up the right arm to the sky. Bring the hands back to prayer center. Sweep the left foot up to meet the right. So here we go. Shoulders over hips, hands to prayer center, or to a chair. Sweep the left foot up to meet the right. Once you're standing, I know this is terrible for the camera, sorry Dwayne. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Take a baby back bend. Arms back to the sky. Hands come down to prayer center. Right foot steps forward. Come back down to your lunge. Send that left leg long. Bring the ground up to you with your blocks. Left leg goes long, arms go up, baby back bend if you want. Hands to prayer center. Chop the wood by bringing the hands down. Press the inner right thigh open. Arms go up, chop it to the other side. Right arm sweeps up, look up. Hands back to prayer center. When you're ready, sweep the left foot up to meet the right. Come to standing. Arms lift high. Oh, I know. Terrible camera angles. Baby back bend. Arms back up. Hands to prayer center. Other side. Step forward with your left foot. Come into your lunge here. Come all the way down to that back knee. Left knee over the left ankle. Top of the right foot on the mat. Press into your blocks and hold it there. I'm gonna send my right leg even longer. Breathe here, maybe shoulders over your hips, maybe arms sweep up, baby back bend, arms back up, palms touch. Let your arms come down inside the extended, the bent left leg. Come on back up, palms together. Take it to the outside of the thigh. Lift the left arm up, up, up. Palms back to touch. Back to prayer center. Now we're gonna sweep the right leg up to meet the left. Sweep it up as you come to stand. Send your arms high up to the sky. Little baby back bend. Hands to prayer center. Big step forward with the left foot again. Bend down to the knee of the right leg onto the mat. Hands to the blocks. Extend the right leg long. Stay here. No need to go further if you don't want. Press into the blocks. Maybe lift off of the blocks. Maybe arms go up as your shoulders are over your hips. Hands to prayer center. Arms straighten. Push in the inner left thigh. Reach. Arms go back up. Hands, arms come to the outside of the left thigh. Press into the left thigh. Lift the left arm up, up, up to the sky. Hands meet. Back at prayer center. Sweep the right foot up to meet the left. Hands to prayer center. Come on up to standing. All right, how was that? Take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out, let it go. Let's do some balancing. Let's go through this quickly. Good, better balance was the second point I promised you today. Flexibility and mobility was point 1. Mobility, point 2, is balancing. And let's go. Arms up high to the sky, extended mountain, root into your feet. Come back up onto the balls of your feet and your heels and rock. Plant your feet solidly because you can. Plant your feet solidly. Zip your legs up. Bring your body into the shape of a letter Y. You will look taller. Press the backs of your hands. That's the big thing through all these letters we're going to go through. Backs of your hands, press them to the back wall so your chest lifts. You, a letter W in the arms. Will, 2 L's forward and back. You will look. Tee out your arms. Terrific. I love it. All right, let's do it again. You will look. T for taller. Let's do it again. You will look taller. Now close your eyes and let your arms float down by your sides. Shoulders are back and down. Shoulders are over your hips. Hips are over your knees. Knees have a little bit of softness in them and your posture is very good. Chest is back. It's so easy to start to do the migrating of the shoulders forward and your head down looking at your phone. That starts to feel pretty natural, quite honestly, and no, it's not. You're compressing your organs. Straighten up your spine, shoulders back and down. Straighten up and have good posture. All right, let's do a half crescent moon. All right, your legs are already glued together. You know, adjust so you're comfortable. A little bend in your knees. Lift your arms up like those extended mountain arms, but bring your palms to touch. Cross one thumb over the other. Lengthen up, bringing your biceps close to your ears. So lengthen up here, half crescent moon. So let's go to the right first. Let your arms stay together, glued hands. Let them drift over to the right side of your room. Now keep your weight equally distributed in your feet. Let your both hips be the same distance to the front of your room. Reach, stretch, draw the left shoulder back a little bit more and bring your chin away from your chest. Lift on up, back to the midline. Take a big breath in as you lengthen. And as you exhale, take it to the other side. Take it to the left. Let the arms reach to the left side of your room. Weight is equal in the hips. Right hip is back. Top shoulder is back. Chin away from the chest. Let's do it again. Come back up to the midline. Lengthen up. Take it to the right. But this time, change it up a little bit. Take the right hand, capture the left wrist and give it a tug. Chin away from the chest, shoulder back, breathe. Come on back to palms touching. Come on back to prayer center. Lengthen up. Other side, take it to the left. Take the left hand, grab the right wrist, give it a tug. Chin away from the chest, breathe. Come on back to palms touching. Come on back as you inhale up to the center. Take a big breath in one more time, one more variation. As you exhale, let the arms go to the right. Chin away from the chest, top shoulder back. Hold on here. Now let's bring our hands apart. Left arm down your thigh. Reach through the right arm, right arm down your thigh. Left arm reaches to the side of the room. Chin away from the chest. Shoulder back, breathe. Come on back up slowly, back up to the midline. Give yourself a hand, putting the palms together to touch, lengthen up. Exhale, soften up and let your fingers go to the left side of the room. Chin away from the chest, right shoulder back, breathe. Maybe let the bottom arm, the left arm, float on down your thigh. Reach a little farther through the fingers, breathe. And when you're ready, come on back, palms touch. Come back up to the midline, lengthen up. Take a baby back bend, but keep your palms together. Look up to the sky. Let the shoulders float back, let the hips come forward, and then come on up, shoulders over your hips. Bring your hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Bring your arms down by your sides. Arms down by your sides. Palms are facing in towards your thighs. Shoulders are back and down. And just maybe move your shoulders a little bit, wiggle a little bit, kind of some shoulder shrugs. With your arms down, let's do some calf raises. And remember, you could have a chair here, totally fine. Lift on up to the balls of your feet. Your calf raises. Lift and lower. Find your balance, firm foundation. You got it. All right, now come on down, flat feet. Lift your arms up. Think extended mountain. Imagine someone pulling you up through your fingertips as you come up onto the balls of your feet here. A couple times up and down. Just a little bit of a challenge. You went from doing it with the arms down I don't know how that was for you. Maybe go back to the arms down again. And then you went back to the arms up. See how that feels? Just a bit of a challenge. All right, let's tee them out. Tee them out, palms face down and lift and lower onto the balls of your feet. All right, bend your elbows. Bring your hands to your hips, come to your flat feet. All right, lift your toes up. Give them a wiggle. Now here comes a challenge. Plant your feet on your mat. Just lift your big toe. Can you do that? That's a challenge. Lift your big toe. Plant the big toe, really plant the big toe, and just try to lift the other 4 toes off of the ground. That's a challenge. Try it again. Big toe only. Big toe down. The other 8 toes lift. All right, plant them. Let's go. Tree pose, hands to prayer center. You got your foundation going on. You got good balance. Let's do this. Here's an opportunity to fail. If you fail, it means you're pushing the limits and you're doing good things. Get back in the game if you fail. No big deal. You've learned from the failure. All right, tree pose. Root through. One leg. Take the other leg, bend it. Open it up to the side of the room. Bring the sole of that foot up, 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 as high as you like. Just don't put it on your knee. You don't want to have your knee going sideways. It wasn't designed to bend sideways. Press the foot into the leg into the foot, hands to prayer center. Lengthen up. Let it go. Maybe grow your branches. One arm can lift and the other can hold onto a chair, or both arms lift. Sway your branches. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. That, I think, is the biggest help. Along with, when I tell you to push the foot into the leg and the leg back into the foot, that helps too. Stay strong in your foundation. If you fall out, no big deal. Get back in. Don't look at me. Look up at the ceiling where nothing is moving. Hold on. Maybe try to close your eyes a little bit. Take a long blink. There you go, hands back to prayer center. Your foot, bring it on down to the ground. Close your eyes with hands at prayer center. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. With your eyes open now, bring your right leg up, up, up. Thigh parallel to the earth. Lift your arms up for a one-legged mountain. Hold it here. Hold it, lengthen up. Think of somebody pulling your fingers up to the sky. Hands back to prayer center. This right leg that's lifted, bring the outside of the ankle onto the left foundational leg. Create a figure 4. Let's go into a humble warrior. So bend the left knee, send your bottom back. Your gaze is still pretty much forward. Hands at prayer center, maybe hands come behind your low back. Hands behind your low back, thumb is pressed into your low back. Maybe walk your hands up the back ceiling, up the back wall. And then let your gaze come down to your left foot. Hold on here. Bring your hands back to prayer center. Bring the foot down to meet the other foot. Come on back up to standing. All right, no big deal. You fail, get right back in. Don't end on a falling out note. Come back to it. All right, tree pose on the other side. Root through the opposite leg. Open up the other leg. Place the sole of the foot wherever you like. Maybe you stay right here with a little bit of a kickstand and hands at prayer center. Maybe closing the eyes is today's challenge. It's all good. I'm going to bring the foot a little higher, maybe higher still. Push the foot, fall out, no big deal. Everybody falls out, right? Bring the foot up to whatever level suits you. Foot into leg, leg into foot. Maybe a chair is your best buddy today. Maybe you grow the branches and look up. Focus. Find something that's not moving. Don't look at the TV. It'll throw you off. Focus where the ceiling and the wall meet. Find your balance and maybe take a long blink. Hands back to prayer center. Bring the left foot down to meet the right. Let's go into your one-legged mountain. Arms sweep up. Left leg lifts. Draw the toes toward the shin. That helps. Hold it here, lengthen up through your fingers. Strong, strong, one-legged mountain. Hands to prayer center. Here comes the humble part. Let the outside of that bent leg's ankle cross the foundational leg and then sit back a little bit. Bend that foundational knee. Oh, nice big stretch here. Huge balancing pose. Hands, remember they can be on a chair. You can keep them at prayer center. Maybe you need to do that, and that's fine. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. Let the interlaced fingers go up the back wall as your gaze comes down to your right foot. Hold it. then finish. Hands back to prayer center. Let the left foot meet the right on the mat. Come back up to standing. Take a nice, big, extended mountain. And a back bend. Hands back to prayer center. Let's make our way back to our mats, shall we? Come on down. Take a forward fold position. In your forward fold, take just a moment here. So you're standing. You fold in half. Belly button is tucked to your spine, helps you get a couple more inches into that fold. Little bend in your knees might feel good. Hands work toward the ground. They don't have to touch. Then bend your knees and come on down to your mat. Now extend your legs long. So you're seated. Think of that forward fold again. Think of the legs as long. Take a block if you want and place the block under your feet and think of that as the ground. You're going to lift your arms up. Think like extended mountain arms. Then you're going to fold in half. It's a forward fold while seated. You're seated forward fold. Maybe your hands reach toward the block, elbows hugged in. Maybe you reach for your ankles. Again, you're pulling your belly button toward your spine. Softening the shoulders, taking this forward fold. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. See, many poses we do standing, you can also do seated or reclined. We'll do that a lot on Wednesday. We'll do like a tree on the ground. We'll do poses like the half crescent moon. We'll do a banana asana, which is essentially the same thing. You're getting the same benefits since working the same places, but you're reclined. So there's a million ways to do your yoga. Check us out. Every day is different. All right, spread your legs wide. Blocks between your legs. Wide-legged forward fold. Blocks, they're great. Buy them. Ask Santa to bring them to you. They're not very expensive. All right, you can have your blocks at whatever height you like. Rest your forehead or the bridge of your nose onto your blocks. Hold it here and enjoy. And you know, you can always adjust your blocks. There's so many ways to move them. You know, adjust the height so it feels good for you. So you're getting a nice stretch, in those inner thighs, in your groin. Breathe in, breathe out. No right answer, no wrong answer. Well, there is a wrong answer. The wrong answer is if it's hurting. If it's hurting, don't do it. All right, so I'm gonna hinge forward, lean forward a little bit more, and just enjoy this. This is a pose that we sometimes do in our restorative practice. We do those on Thursdays and Sunday. And you would hold the pose longer. And what I love about this and so many things about a restorative practice, maybe when you start, you're like this. But after the time elapses, that's a signature of a restorative practice. You stay in your poses 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, somewhere in there. As time goes on, the body just says, oh, I can do it. I'm gonna surrender to the deeper pose. It's not so bad, I've got it. That happens in a restorative practice. All right, so come on up. Let's come out of it, or maybe you decide to stay, that's fine too. Blocks to your side, come onto your belly. Your belly. I was gonna say come onto your back, but I meant your belly. Come onto your belly. All right, come on down. Arms reach long to the top of your mat. Legs are long on your mat also. Superman pose. For Superman pose, your chin, your nose are down on your mat. Lift your legs up, one at a time or both at the same time. Feel the compression of your low back. And you can bring your legs down. You can bring your arms up separately and then bring them down. Or put it all together, lift out of the arms, lift out of the legs, balance on your pelvis, and hold here in your Superman pose. Breathe in, breathe out, Superman. Bend your elbows, hands under your collarbones, legs come down. Press into your hands, straighten your arms, soften in your glutes. Breathe. Breathe in. Breathe out. Bend your elbows, come on down, like doing a chaturanga, which we'll do on Tuesdays and Saturdays. Bend your elbows, come on down, you got strong arms. Release your arms down by your sides. Let your arms, your hands interlace behind your low back. So again, your thumbs are pressed into your low back. Not for long, we're gonna change that. Let all the air out of your lungs, head is back at the midline of your body. When you're ready, lift the legs, lift out of the chest, gaze down your nose, and lift your hands away from your low back, trying to let the arms walk up the back wall in your variation of a locust pose. Come on down, chin down, arms down. Bend your elbows, hands under collarbones, press on up. Soften in the glutes, seal pose. Come on up to standing on your knees. Knees or underneath your hips. Hips underneath your shoulders. Hands to your low back. Let's do a gentle little camel. Press your hands into your low back, elbows squeeze towards your spine. Look forward and push your hips forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet, or maybe look overhead. Maybe send your gaze even further back to where the wall and the ceiling meet at the back of your room. Come on up, shoulders over your hips. Come on down to a bridge position. Bring your strap with you. Bring your eye shade and your towel up near the top of your mat, because we're going to use that in just a moment. And when you're ready, let's come on down to a bridge. Hands to prayer center. Bend your knees and have the soles of your feet on your mat this time. And remember that slowly recline? I want to get that into your head so that every time you're doing this, you take it slowly, because your core is strong. You got it going on. Come on all the way down to your mat. Arms down by your sides, soles of your feet are on your mat, your ankles are underneath your knees. Press on up through your hips, thighs are parallel to each other. Press on up through your hips. Press the feet into the ground, wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine, arms down by your sides, lift your hips higher. Interlaced fingers again. Interlace your fingers behind your low back. We've been talking about pressing the thumbs into your low back. This time, press your pinkies into the mat. Ooh, shoulders are loving it. Push harder into your feet. Let that feel great. Release your hands down by your sides. Roll your spine down one vertebra at a time. And find your strap. Find your strap, place it under the centers of your feet. Send your feet high to the sky. Hold on to the reins of a horse here. Elbows hugged in. Let your legs come high, high, high. Think of your toes going overhead. Little bend in your knees, feels good. Release your right leg to your mat. Leg is long, left leg is long too, but it's lifted to the sky. Let the left leg start to move. You got the strap, you're in control here. Move it far to the left, move it far to the right, roll onto the right hip when you do that. Bring it on up and let it go down to the left side of your room. So switch the strap into the hand of the side that's bending and reaching. So think of creating a little dome over your body, a little half circle. Maybe gaze in the opposite direction of which your leg is going as you tee out that arm that's not holding the strap. Finish. Come back to where you started. Right foot, right leg, just lift it up. You're strong. Lift it up, have it meet the left leg, then let the left leg come down. All right, same thing. Let's work on this right hip. Your left leg is long. Get your left calf on the mat by drawing your left toes towards your shins. So left leg is long and straight. We did some nice lunges, so that leg should feel comfortable. All right. Right leg opens up to the right side, left arm tees out, and I look to the left. Leg comes up. Put the strap in the other hand. Other arm tees out, let that foot come toward the earth. I need to move my yoga mat so I can get it down to the ground. All right, so little half circles, or maybe you don't go that far. Just a little bit of movement in the hips is awesome. Left to right, right to left. Maybe you want to stay longer in one position. You did that nice wide-legged forward fold, so maybe this feels more doable today. And it's so obvious, but the more you move, the more you can move, and your yoga hits every little point of your body to help you stay more mobile and flexible and stronger off of your mat. Left foot up to meet the right. Hold it here. Now slowly, with control, let the heels come down toward the earth, and you peel on up. Take it with control. Try not to have momentum do this for you. You can press through your heels and lift nice and slowly. Lift through the chest. Let your heels hover above the earth. Then bring them on down. Let's go into your final Shavasana. So come on down to reclined. Take your time. Hands to prayer center. Let's go. All the way down. Find your eye shade or your towel. Final Shavasana time. Cover up your eyes. Arms down by your sides. Legs comfortably spread a little bit. Pinky toes fall toward the earth. Shoulder blades wiggle a little bit under your spine to lift your heart up to the sky. Palms face up. Sigh it out. You did it. Keep your mind clear of clutter for just a little bit longer and just focus on your breath. Deepen your breath. All right, here's another little habit you might want to get into. Have your remote control nearby so you can hit the pause button and stay here in this final Shavasana pose longer. Let it work its magic. It's a beautiful thing. You deserve the time of stillness on your mat. You moved so much today. And when you're ready, you would just hit play again and join us back on your mat. And take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Ankles and wrists. We worked them a lot today. Inhale, reach high overhead like you're taking a big good morning stretch. Point your toes, reach your fingers, maybe wiggle your hips and your shoulders. Bend your knees and your elbows and roll into a fetal position onto one side or the other. Let it feel good in the hip and the shoulder. Bend your low arm, rest your head on that bicep and soften in the top shoulder. Eyes are closed. Savor this breath. Deep breath in. Big breath out. Make your way up to a comfortable seated position whenever you're ready. Hands or no hands, just be aware of what you're doing. Sit comfortably however works for you. Hands to prayer center. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Press your thumbs a little bit into your chest. Feel the warmth of your hands. Breathe in. Sigh it out. Blink your eyes open. You did it. 1 hour. I hope it went by quickly. You moved so much in your body. It was wonderful. And you did great, however you did. Stress number you took in the beginning. Stress number now. That tells you something right there. You feel better. Put a smile on your face. Go forth and do good things today. And remember, when you say yes to challenges, you're also saying yes to growing, to changing, to having courage, and changing for the better. It's all good. I know you can feel better now. You can move better. You have confidence in your balance and hopefully a little more joy in your head and in your heart. See you on your mats tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye. You want to play, don't you? Have a good day. You're still here, and I'm really glad for that. Keep this in mind. The path is made through repetition. Keep showing up, and good things will happen. You know that. I'm glad that you're still sticking around. Tell your friends what the yoga's doing for you. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody on Facebook and YouTube, and they can join in anytime from the privacy of their own home. Tell them about our practice, please. If you'd like to support our broadcast, you can visit our website. It's www.316yoga.com. Stay on your path, enjoy your yoga, and have a great rest of your day. See you on your mats tomorrow.